Hey everybody, and for today's Progressive Programming Workout, we're going to jump into our skill. Now, the skill for this month is going to look similar to our strength focuses in regards to being constantly varied. Now, what we're doing this whole month and for the theme of this training phase is more GPP focus, which is general physical preparedness. Now, again, we are working towards the CrossFit Open, which is what our whole year essentially works around, is progressively building and making ourselves better. So when we get to that CrossFit Open, we have a good snapshot of where our fitness is after a year of training. Now, in today's session, we're going to go ahead and jump into one of the more common skills that we see in the Open as far as a gymnastics skill goes. We're going to be focusing on the kipping pull-up. Now, this is an opportunity for us to work on refining our skill or even just developing the skill itself. So whether you have a strict pull-up or not, let's spend some time under the bar, bringing some general awareness into that hollow arch position. So we're going to start out with roughly 10 to 15 minutes. It's going to be closer to 15 minutes as we get into it, but we're starting out with a warm-up. So after our general warm-up, we're going to jump into a little more specific warm-up, working the hollow holds, then the scap pulls, and just generating awareness under the bar. Then we go into rhythm drills. This is where we're going to start getting a little bit more dynamic and think about our breathing pattern as far as timing is concerned. Then when we get into the actual skill work, let's think about putting the whole skill together, the pull-up itself. Now, whether you have whether you have an unassisted pull-up or not, using a band can be a good opportunity to develop more spatial awareness and body lines in the bottom or in the hang position when you when you are working your kipping pull-up. And then at the very end, after we've done all that warm-up rhythm drill skill work, we're going to get into a couple max effort sets. Now, again, this whole focus is to practice the kipping pull-up. So when we set up for a kipping pull-up, what we want to think about, if we need a band assistance, even if you have 3 to 5 unassisted pull-ups, using a band at this time, or even when we do our max test at the end, is a good opportunity to get some reps in, get some volume in, push our threshold a little bit closer to failure, and create more adaptation with the challenge of larger sets, more reps together. So when we get into it, let's think about our breath, our position under the bar, and then using the right implement to set ourselves up for success. What I mean by implement is when we use a band for assistance, instead of having the band across the rack on the J hooks, let's hang the band from the top all the way down. Now, I know the band is in your face and it's kind of cumbersome getting in and out of, but at the same time, that band can help us maintain a good straight line when we go into that arch position. And then also kind of gives us a little bit more assistance when we go into that hollow position. So the main focus in today's session is to refine the kipping pull-up and test it at the end. So after that skill work, warm-up work, what we want to do is take 1 to maybe 3 attempts maximum for a max effort attempt on the pull-ups. Now, if we can't do more than 5 to 10 in a row, then let's go into a band assisted. And if we can't do any more than that, then let's maybe do a chest to bar pull up from a supine position. So establishing a bar and a rack, and then let's go for max reps of dead hang to chest to bar. Now, whatever we end up doing today, make sure that we are pushing ourselves and maybe fighting for a few extra reps. Just don't rip your hands. Now, once we've finished off the skill work, we're going to go ahead and jump into, and every third minute on the minute, we've got 3 rounds rotating between 10 wall ball shots, 10 V-ups, and 10 hand release push-ups. Now, we just blew out our shoulders or our pulling muscles, so we're going to use a little bit more of our pushing muscles in our EMOM in today's session. So we've got every third minute, we're looking to have anywhere between a minute to minute and a half rest in between each one of these rounds. But at the end of that third round, from minute 9 to minute 10, we're going to go ahead and rest 1 minute only to complete a chipper right afterwards, which is going to be 60 wall ball shots, 45 V-ups, and 30 hand release push-ups. This is a chipper, one time through and done. So as we get into today, we've got our kipping pull-up, practice, refine, test. Then we've got an EMOM every third minute, followed by a chipper for time. That's it for today.